Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the G-Shock Watcher channel. It is 23rd of March 2025. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I apologize for not having a video out yesterday. I'd just gotten back from Taipei, Taiwan for a business trip, but wanted to leverage this sort of quiet time when the kids aren't around to update you on what's going on in the G-Shock world. And I'm going to do a couple of things. I want to, one, check out those watches that we looked at on Buyee last week. I want to say last video. Last video we were talking about the scam alert, and I'm hoping that helped to protect a few people, at least if you were in Singapore. But before that, we did the Buyee auction hunting, and I wanted to go back and have a look at those watches and see where they actually ended up. And then after that, do a quick check-in on some of the news that I thought was interesting in the G-Shock world. So let's get started first on some of those watches. So there were about 9 or 10 watches. One was that overly expensive Casio watch. It's still up there for sale again. Every now and again people go crazy. But we'll look at the watches which I thought were interesting. So before we do, I almost forgot. Watch I'm wearing today is that negative watch. I can't even remember the name, like there's no nickname for it, but the nice band on it, the fabric band, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, back to the watches itself. So these were some of the 8 watches of interest. So we had the street style, we had 2 MTGs, and the rest were MRGs. So let's go ahead and actually take a look. The street style one, at filming, it had 2 days to go. It was going for 7,205 yen, had 31 bids, and at the end it got to 14,705 at 43 bids. So doubled in price over those 2 days, about 12 more bids. So obviously it looks like it got a little bit aggressive during that bidding style, but you know, not a bad ending price for that watch. If we look at the MTG, which was the volcanic lightning, that had 5 hours to go, so bidding would be slowing down. At filming, we got to 86,050 yen, 55 bids, and at the end, 3 more bids came in there, and it finished up at 91,050 yen. The other MTG, the black, silver, and gold, that one had 6 hours to go. It was at 23,110 yen at 74 bids, and 10 more bids coming in at 28,900 yen. So, you know, pretty good traction on those particular watches as they came through. What I'm keen to sort of see and show you is the traction for some of these MRGs. And it'll be interesting when you look at these MRGs here, which one you would expect goes for the highest price. So we've got the black and red armor one here. We've got the bronze and black and blue one here. We've kind of got the black Gravity Master type MRG. We've got the Frogman MRG, and we've got another sort of Gravity Master-ish MRG as well. So this is where you would do something and say, put in the comments below what you think was the most expensive watch that would actually go before I tell you the price or whatever. But let's just check it out because I think it's actually interesting. So the black, red, and gold MRG armor, this watch at filming had 6 days to go, was at 26,000 yen and had 16 bids. So we were really early on in this particular one as we were watching it. So you can imagine this is going to go up, and it did. It went to 204,000 yen for 80 bids over that period. So pretty aggressive from that point of view. The black and bronze MRG, that one had 2 days to go, 120,500 yen at 57 bids. At the end, it went for 164,005 yen at 75 bids. Now, this is interesting for the fact that you sort of see the 5 yen bid at the end. I have a feeling that someone's probably set up a sniper bid, which they can do. There's nothing wrong with that. But they've put in a sniper bid and basically say, every time the price goes up, I want to bid 5 yen more, just to sort of secure that. So that can work for you. It can also work against you if you overdo it and you get to a really expensive price. But this one here is obviously seeing someone doing a sniper bid to be able to get it in there. So the next one, the MRG Gravity Master, this one had 1 day to go. It was at 91,000 yen and 47 bids. And at the end, it got to 119,005 yen. There's potentially that sniper bid coming in there again, but came in at a pretty decent price. So 1 day to go. So it was, what's that, 16 incremental bids. This one, MRG, at filming, 2 days to go. It was at 163,000 yen at 45 bids, and it closed out at 305,523 yen at 76 bids. Interesting number at the end there, the 523 yen. Obviously, it was getting very, very close to what people wanted in terms of 1 yen maybe. But 2 days to go, 305,000 yen is a fairly decent price, so that's pretty exciting. Then the last one, the other MRG Gravity Master, 5 hours ago, 200,000 yen, 43 bids, and it didn't move. It stayed at 200,000 yen at 43 bids. So really interesting. I guess the big winner there was the Frogman MRG at 305,000 yen. I actually expected the black, red, and gold MRG to go higher, but it was a little bit small damage on it. That Frogman definitely looked really, really good from that point of view as well. So that was a pretty exciting one. Okay, so we've looked at the watches. Let's talk a little bit about some of the news which has been coming out. You remember a while ago I talked about how the G-Shock King series had been discontinued and how some places around the US, etc., weren't able to buy them anymore. Good news is if you're still in the market, I guess if you're in Singapore, those watches are still available today. So you can go ahead and actually get things like the G-Shock 56TU 1A5, that sort of kind of military type khaki look, I guess, but positive display. Like you look at all the other ones here, negative, negative, negative. This one is the positive. I really like this one. This is my own watch, the positive display G-Shock King with the tan, the black, and the orange. I just think it's a awesome color combination. So if you're looking for a really nice G-Shock King, this is definitely the one that I would personally recommend. In terms of the other ones, the graffiti one is not available anymore. The black on black is still there. So that's there. And the, what would you call it? I actually purchased one as well. The black with the neon colors, those are still in stock as well. So 3 G-Shock Kings still in stock. But then again, who knows how much longer they will be in stock for based on the discontinuation of that actual watch series, which we hope will come back. Now, in terms of releases this month of March, we've got a total of 8 watches that have come out there. A few of the GMA P2100s, very much pastel type colors. Doesn't really do too much for me. There is this limited edition Glare watch, which is a collaboration for the rock band Glay, 30th anniversary. It's an interesting watch. They've got their name over the top of the actual LCD itself. But yeah, not a particular watch that I would be super interested in. The ones which I think are kind of interesting, these ones here, the GM110BD-1A9 and the GM110D-8A. These two are interesting watches because they are metallic watches, which I think previously these were mostly resin-based watches, but they've actually put them in a metallic bezel and band, which I guess sort of elevates. And I think going back to the video we did a while ago, which was on the recovery plan for G-Shock and Casio, there was an aspect where they wanted to elevate some of these actual watches, and maybe this is part of that strategy. And G Central, who do a great job in terms of reporting what's going on, there's these new metallic G-Shock GM110 models with stainless steel bands that are coming. They're already here apparently, based on a Shock base saying they're coming out. I haven't seen them for sale yet though, but this one said are coming to Japan in March and expected to release worldwide. As of late March, they have not been announced outside of Japan. Okay, so you might not be able to get them, but you can actually see they've got that silver and positive and gold and negative, but they've got nice sort of metallic bands in those particular watches. And so it's not a bad looking watch. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be rushing out to purchase it anytime soon. I think if I did go and purchase it, it would potentially be for the silver one. I think that might be a nicer, more cleaner sort of watch. But it is interesting to see these sorts of watches coming up and having the metal casing, the metal bracelet to go with it, really to see if that's going to help them elevate the view of the G-Shock watches. Maybe it appeal to a different band, maybe a different price band, a different type of people. You know, it's an interesting watch to go ahead and actually have a look at. So those two particular watches came out. The other ones were these two, the AWG M100 FP1A2 and the GW232 FP-1A2. Some of these watches, I'd be better to be able to find their nicknames and actually use them, but we'll go with model numbers for now. These watches were essentially what they call fire package watches in Japan. And what they sort of say, this is where it's interesting, according to Casio, the fire term refers to a person's mindset when taking on new challenges, and the colors are meant to give an impression of energy and youth. Casio describes the color accents on the aluminum, I turned American there, aluminium bezel parts as cool blue, or appears to be a light violet color in the images and Neil's video. These two watches are expected in the US as fire package models from the previous 2 years, featuring more traditional black and gold and black and red colors were not released there. So these are those two watches. You know, the positive one looks pretty good. The digital watch, yeah, not too sure. I mean, really, if I was forced to go ahead and actually choose between this and those metallic series ones, I'd probably go with the metallic series ones. But what is interesting here, and I guess this is a perception thing, right? Like how important it is to you. These watches with the resin bands, they're multi-band 6 and they're tough solid. They're really nice. I mean, from a feature point of view, they're really cool. Those metallic ones here, these aren't. Like, if you're going to go ahead and up-level a watch, I would like to think that you'd go ahead and put in tough solar, right? If I look at these ones here and go down, it's LCD. It's a 3-year battery life, so it's not even the 10-year battery. It's the 3-year battery. No multi-band 6, no tough solar, no Bluetooth, none of those different things. We don't really have pricing for it there. Do we have pricing on the G Central site? No pricing either. But you look at this particular watch, we're trying to up-level it, yet the internals don't necessarily seem to be up-leveled. Like I would expect to see tough solar. I would expect to see a little bit more. These fire package ones, they have multi-band 6. They've got tough solar. They've got all of those particular features. Do we have pricing? $160 and $150 is the pricing for those particular watches, right? So if you sort of think about it, a $150 or $160 watch actually has tough solar multi-band 6, but your metallic one, which tries to elevate it, doesn't have those capabilities. It's a bit of a mismatch. I think you've got to look at what are the materials you use, but what's also the technology that you're going to use as well. So now talking about tough solar, there's another watch which is coming out. This one's interesting. It's the solar-powered G-Shock G5600 BG-5, an ivory color mixed with recycled black resin. Interesting looking watch. I do like the colors, the sort of the turquoise, white and black, and on a positive display. It's kind of cool. What I did think was kind of humorous, the first thing I thought about when I saw this particular watch was it has been coated in Hershey's Cookies and Creams chocolate bar. Right? If you go ahead and actually have a look at this, it doesn't look dissimilar to the Hershey's, if I go back, that same sort of look. So I guess don't eat this watch. It's not edible. It is a combination of ivory colored and mixed in with black resin pieces to give a marble-like appearance. But I think they might have been a lot better off maybe doing a collaboration with Hershey's and calling it the Cookies and Cream watch face, or Cookies and Cream resin bar. I think that would have been absolutely hilarious and a missed opportunity for them from that point of view. So these watches are coming out around about April 12th. So G-Shock's birthday and Earth Day, April 22nd. Limited edition, 20,000 yen for these particular watches. So again, tough solar, nice watch. It's kind of cool. So the last one, which I wanted to go ahead and actually talk about, is this strange watch, this GA-V01 watch. And I'm not sure if you've actually sort of seen this one. What it is a watch which just kind of defies all design or at least subtlety in a particular watch. I'm trying to work out how to talk about it. The G-Shock GA-V01 has the innovative shock release hand. Okay, that's from a feature point of view, but this is the watch itself, the GA-V01. It's a very strange looking watch. Now I did actually come across this watch in China, which I want to sort of show you. This is the actual one. I was in Chongqing in China. It's the green one with the orange band, and it is a chunky watch. You would have to be very, very bold to want to be able to go ahead and actually wear this. And I thought about it. I almost picked it up. It was around about $250. But yeah, I couldn't. If they had the black one or a different color, I might have picked it up. But this green one was just way over the top. Looks like a tennis ball. It also has this very interesting character, which we'll talk about in a sec. But they only had the green model there at the actual watch at the time. So you couldn't actually sort of get any other one. So I probably missed it all. This was the watch itself. So it's fairly thick, fairly chunky from that angle. So yeah, if we go look at the actual site and sort of get a read for what it's all about, these are the actual watches. So you've got a green, a black, a silver, and a purple. And redefining toughness with a strikingly original design. It is definitely a striking and original design based on this particular watch. So you can sort of see it there. Shock-resistant structure with an original new exterior. I mean, this is part of it. I guess it's meant to be super resistant based on the fact it is so bulky. But it does have this interesting feature here. The shock-resistant module featuring a shock release hand. And so what happens is, if you get a big impact on the actual watch, the minute hand itself will essentially sort of move around and it won't sort of jar. And I think what happens here is that, what it says here, they've developed a new magnetic holding structure, a new design where the hands, which are vulnerable to impact, are not directly fixed to the shaft but are attached using magnetic force. This magnetic attachment allows the shock release hand, minute hand, to absorb and dissipate impacts effectively. This new technology also makes it possible to create larger hands and offer more flexibility in styling. Note, because the structure uses magnetic attachment, the minute hand may shake due to impact or vibration. Additionally, immediately after an impact or vibration, the minute hand may temporarily shift out of position, but it will return to the correct position within a few minutes. So this is what G Central was talking about as well. And so, instead of being hard fixed onto the actual watch, it sort of floats a little bit. It's on a magnet, and so when it's impacted, it will shift, but then the magnet will bring it back into alignment again, which makes it a very, very interesting sort of watch. Lots of interesting colors, 10-year battery life, which is a good thing. Super illuminator, high brightness double LED for maintaining watch readability in the dark, which, okay, that does look pretty cool. And then it's the focus on this weird little character. The story of the character, continuous evolution by toughness spirit. Yeah, okay. I don't know what you'd even call it. A prototype Mr. Ibe in the Hamura R&D laboratory comes to life, bursts through the window of the laboratory. Of course he did. A rubber ball infused with the toughness spirit of Mr. Ibit. It's extremely curious about everything, but doesn't have a personality yet. Phase 3, when it discovers something it wants to do, it evolves, acquiring powerful spiky feet to take on adventures full of creativity and friendship. Each colored character has a distinct nature. Okay. Very, very interesting from that angle. But you know what? You've got to give it to G-Shock for trying something really different. Like, this is a very, very different sort of watch. And maybe it will be a cool one to go ahead and actually use. Specification-wise, we go down and have a look. It is 74 grams, so fairly light. This was the China price, 990 RMB. No tough solar, no multiband 6. It's very much running on a battery, but a 10-year battery life is good. So maybe if we get a chance to pick one up on secondhand, maybe on Buyee, it might be something worth going ahead and actually checking out. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got this far, thank you so much for sharing about 20 minutes of your time with me today. I always enjoy talking about G-Shock watches. I hope you enjoy listening to me talk about G-Shock watches. But I really appreciate you spending some time with me today, and I look forward to sharing some more updates with you over the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much. Have a great day.